Hello, and welcome to Manga Mommies.
A podcast where we chat about, you guessed it, mangas, and occasionally our lives as parents.
Nice to meet you all. I'm Kyo,
And I'm Kel.
and we are your host on the show. We hope you're having a great Monday. So please, would you kindly get a drink, take a seat, and let's chat. Welcome back, everyone. And boy, is it chilly in here.
Yes, it is.
Well, I also want to apologize again for the fun I had on our little TikTok with my favorite Muppet, or one of my favorite Muppets, Pepe the King Prawn. I just had so much fun with that, even though I got in trouble.
It was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. Trauma bombing.
I feel like it captured us both beautifully
I think so.
because that is 100% the look that I gave. Yeah. It's like, you did what now?
Wait, what? Goes and looks at it. Oh my God.
I mean, all right, we're rolling with it, but cool. Cool.
How is PR going to handle this? We are PR, bitch.
We are HR, PR, all the R's.
Yep.
This is also kind of terrifying because none of us are mentally stable.
Now, you don't have to be mentally stable in order to be one of those. You just have to have the right education to know when to bite thy tongue.
I mean, I guess I could feel you could get that from two things. Like, you either can get that from, the proper way going to school or the improper way learning it in the street. Both will get you to the same place, though.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I think one has a little bit more of a faster effect than the other.
You only got so many teeth.
Yeah. But
Anywho.
right. Anyway, let's focus on today's main topic. Woo!
Ba-ba-da-da.
Fairy dust, snacks, sparkle explosion everywhere.
So, what is our topic this week, Kia?
Well, Kels, it is what manga do you regret ever reading and why? Why do you hate it? And to remind you all that these are our personal thoughts and no hate to you if you enjoy it. Odds are you probably hate or like stuff that we like. Purely our opinion. And y'all can suck it.
I have been looking forward to this topic because this manga, like, I couldn't finish it. That to me is how bad it was. I could not finish it. I guess I'll get started on mine.
Okay.
So I regret, and this might be controversial, Attack on Titan.
Oh, that is controversial. Ooh, people are in the comments now.
Ripping me
Angry typing. Angry typing. Bring her down.
So I'll let you guys know a little bit about it before I tell you why I hate it so much.
And cut. I also am about to break your heart. Your whole synopsis. Again for the third time. You got to Stotopian world and you eventually came back with I don't know how many of the titans or layers or whatever you were talking about is when you came back. I mean, you were gone. Even I was gone. We were all gone.
Motherfucker.
I don't know why. Trying to wait for you to come back. I was trying to see what was going on. It was making it lag because, like, the whole internet, everything, voice connection, everything was gone. And, like, even because I don't know what killed it, but it killed it for a solid that whole time. And I was like, she's gonna kill me. And then it popped back up, and I was like, okay.
On the upside, this is also just why I write out everything and then read it, so it's all the same all the time.
Yeah.
But I guess we're gonna go for round 3, and maybe something will stick.
Swear to God, if I end up having to, like, message you and be like, so guys, we're not gonna get one this week. Happy birthday to me!
Right? It's oh my god, it's literally gonna be like, I'm just gonna record saying it and send you the damn Audacity file.
Because the whole time you were like, even yesterday, you were just like, I'll have it all prepared so it's one go and you won't have to edit it for too long. And my computer was like, fuck you, bitch, you're gonna do it all night.
Yeah, but I mean, at least on the upside, the part that's cutting out is less my opinion and just fact, so
I know,
that's nice.
but it's still annoying when it does it because I panic because I'm like, where'd it go? Where'd you go?
No, it's all good. All right, round 3. This was written by Hijami Isayama. It was published by Kodansha. The demographic is shonen. The original run was from September 9th, 2009 to April 9th, 2021, and it has 34 volumes. For the plot, it's set in a world where humanity is forced to live in cities surrounded by three enormous walls that protect them from gigantic man-eating humanoids referred to as Titans. The story follows Eren Yeager, who vows to exterminate the Titans after they bring about the destruction of his hometown and the death of his mother. According to the knowledge propagated locally, this is the last surviving vestige of human civilization. They have been led to believe that humanity was driven to the brink of extinction after the emergence of the Titans, who attack and eat humans on sight. The last remnants of humanity retreated behind these three concentric walls and enjoyed roughly a century of peace. Within the walls, the thought of venturing outside is strongly frowned upon and discouraged. To combat the Titans, the country's military employs a series of specialized weapons, such as gas-powered propulsion grappling hooks and swords of ultra-hard steel. There are three types of Titans. Pure Titans are the weakest and most generic, whose behavior is easy to predict, making them very easy to kill. Abnormal Titans, whose behavior is more difficult to predict, making them far more dangerous. And the Nine Titans, also known as Titan Shifters. These are attack, colossal, armored, female, beast, jaw, cart, warhammer, and founding. These are the strongest Titans. Each is able to shift back and forth between human and Titan form to access their Titan's abilities. Many Titan shifters possess the ability to harden certain parts of their bodies at will, typically in order to make them virtually impenetrable or to strengthen their blows during combat. That's it. That's all of it.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
like, I can
I
literally
stayed
these
still. I was like, if I don't, I was even looking at the walls. If I don't look at the beast, it won't fuck up again.
right?
You would check in, and I was like, and then you would go on again, and the whole time I'm like eyeing it, and I'm just like, my computer's like, fuck this bitch and her talking, like,
Right?
I was like, oh, I don't want to break her heart again. Please, oh my god. I will be piecing some shit together later.
Well, that's why I'm like, I'm gonna give it the pause and then I'm gonna check in so you can just crop out the like thing and just stick them all
Oh,
together.
that's fine.
So, sounds pretty interesting, right? Sounds like
Mhm.
something that would be a lot of fun to read, the end of humanity and you know, fighting off this huge enemy and all this other stuff. But I hated it.
Hmm.
I think part of my problem is that I fell in love with the first season of the anime first, which may have a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
The anime centers around bringing you right into the life with creative animation and powerful emotions through their characters, and I just found that really lacking in the manga. I didn't feel as connected to these characters personally. This one is again is just a personal one for me, but I didn't like the art style in the manga versus the anime. I feel like the manga just doesn't capture the detail and the facial expressions that the anime art style really did because they are almost like two different art styles, which I find interesting. Whenever I've usually seen something going from a manga to an anime, they generally have the same art style or very, very, very similar. And this one to me didn't feel like it. So it was really hard for me to kind of get into it. And I pushed through and I skipped ahead and I would jump between the three volumes that I had and I couldn't get into it. I also find it feels kind of pretentious when you read it. Like when you get deeper into the manga, the timelines start doing odd things and it begins to feel like you're losing your grip on what's happening. You also lose what Aaron's motivations are. And since he's cast pretty heavily in the beginning, it sort of breaks away from feeling connected with the character. And with the final arc, which I did read to kind of see how everything ended and maybe I'd like it enough to jump back into the rest of it and push through. I really wished it would have felt more gray than black and white, but it was blasted very much into the either you destroy everyone versus your country and all your loved ones are going to get killed. It feels overplayed. Also, the
Yeah.
hero to villain arc that happens with Eren is something that feels very overdone. And then you have over the top, the bad guy is so bad that everyone cheers and cries because of genocide of the other people. There could have been so many other things that could have taken this manga and made it really, really well written, but everything feels kind of 2D and flat to me. Like they didn't expand as much as I thought they would for the characters. But then again, he just arbitrarily kills off characters too. So it's kind of hard to really get into it and get attached. And then you find out that the one character you actually really like is, you know, maybe the bad guy. And it's a rough read. I can't.
I can understand that. I mean, there's probably gonna be a lot of people that's gonna come at you in the comments. We may get a lot of dislikes, but it is your opinion. It is fine.
Yes.
Oh. Anyway, out of the weird cropping shit now that I have to do, Ooh. But no, I completely understand why some people may love it and some people may hate it, because I'm also a little bit on your side, Kels. Not all the points you made, but more of just it never kept my attention long enough for me to get to where it supposedly got at some point.
Yeah, and I mean, even for me, like, I tried skipping ahead, I tried skipping around, I'm like, "Maybe this is just a part that's not engaging me," and I couldn't. It wasn't there, my attention span was not grasped. I'm like, "This is not how I want to spend my limited free time," and the premise of it is so good, you could have done so much with it, but then to take this character that you don't really develop, but you build up to be this hero, and then the minute that he starts his villain arc, you don't have the moral check-ins anymore. You don't have that motivation anymore. You don't know what's going through his head anymore. And it's like, okay, so like the one character that you really wanted us to like is now like ghosting us. That's cool. And I couldn't handle it. And from what I had seen, because I'm like, I can't be the only one who's disappointed in this. The ending for like 80% of people who read through it was like, this is pathetic. This is stupid. This why did this happen? This makes no sense. Like you have this whole other nation of people and they're literally only there to be like, they're our enemy and committing genocide is the only possible way. And it's like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah.
Like you could have done so much more with having discovered a whole other civilization that's been around that, you could have done things with and you chose not to. And like the ending was rough. And I was like, maybe I'll like the ending. Maybe it's just I don't understand because I skipped ahead a bunch. Nope. Nope. So for me, this was a personal and I rate it 17 thumbs down. That is my arbitrary rating scale. It is 17 thumbs down.
Considering we don't know the actual rating scale on a good time, then yeah, okay.
Well,
Can mean
I mean,
anything.
I only have 2 thumbs and I've just like it just no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Did not like.
I can get that. There's a lot that, for me, it's one of those things where, uh, me going into it, let's say like I'm reading something but I watch the movie or the anime or something first before I go and read it, I tend to not get as engaged as I was when I first like watched it. That was a big thing for me. Like, there was a few regular books that got turned into movies that happened the same way. I watched the movie first and then tried to read, and it didn't end well. But the way you're talking about it with just the characters kind of going sideways, I can understand that, because there is quite a few of them out there that are kind of like that. That it starts off one way, and then you get into what you would consider like halfway through the series or into like maybe a sequel or something, and then everything changed. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yes.
So I can respect it. I can respect that's how you feel about it. I mean, granted, I never really made it past, I think maybe like one or two episodes into it, and I never actually read the manga for it, because it kind of like just throws you into it at the beginning. And I watched it back when it first was aired in Japan, and it was, subtitled in America. So, it was kind of like one of those quick things where it may not have been translated right, but the whole thing just kind of threw me off from the beginning.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because it does. It kind of pulls you into it immediately. It doesn't give you much of an explanation. It's just like, oh, look, there's Titans and they're eating people, and oh no, his mom died. I mean, spoiler, not spoiler. I mean, it's been on a minute. And it's just like, oh. And then I hear later that, oh, he's special because he's supposed to be part Titan or something like that, or have Titan blood because his dad was a weirdo. I mean, I don't fucking know. I just know that it goes sideways pretty quickly, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely one of those things where it was like, this is very interesting. This is very, very odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my hated manga. What was yours?
Oh, mine's gonna be a little bit more quicker in a way than yours was. Like I still have like a synopsis and stuff, but then like my points aren't as depth because I didn't get very far in it. And you thought I didn't get pretty far in the one you talked about. This one was just as less. Like I got to a point and I was like, I'm out. So Here at Manga Mommies, we understand that in recent times, many are struggling, whether it's with mental health, cost of living and eating, thoughts of suicide, emotional distress, PTSD, postpartum, domestic violence, bullying, alcohol or drug use concerns, or you just need someone to talk to. We encourage you to call the hotline or visit your local hospital for help. Remember, you are not alone. It is okay to need or call someone for help. And if they do not listen, please go somewhere else and go speak to somebody else. Your emotions are worth a listen. Do not ever let someone tell you otherwise. Thank you for being with us another day. The manga that would be mine for regrettable moments of reading that personally I can say that I may jump back into it just to finish it out at some point, because I never actually did finish it out and I kind of want to know at the end what, kind of what happened at the end. But my manga is called Life. Honestly, with this manga, I never got past, I think maybe like the first volume or the second volume. Granted, I don't really remember where I initially said I'm out, because it was released back in like 2002. So it's an old one. But it was written by Kaito, and the English publisher used to be Tokyo Pop. The license for that expired, and the current one would be Konisha USA, which is the current releaser. Demographic was a shoujo. Its original run was from 2002 to 2009, and it had roughly about 20 volumes. Now there is supposed to be a sequel, Raifu 2, but I don't know anything about it. I didn't look up anything about it because, again, I'm supposedly there's a happy-ish ending, but I'm not 100% sure on it because, again, did not get very far. So the quick little synopsis. Amiyu is studying for the all-important high school entrance exams. She is struggling to get by, but thankfully has help from her best friend, Shi-chan, who is at the top of their class. Test results come back, and their friendship falls apart when Amiyu surpasses Shi-chan's scores and gets her high school of choice, while Shi-chan doesn't. Losing Shi-chan is so painful for her that she starts to cut her wrist for comfort. Hoping for a fresh start, Amiyu arrives at her new high school and finally opens up to a new friend, Minami. But will Minami prove to be a friend that she truly needs, or will send her further down a downward spiral? I personally stopped where I stopped, and I had to go back to make sure why, because I remember not liking it, but I couldn't remember like why. I knew it wasn't much of the cutting, even though that is terrible to me personally. It was the fact of this Shi-chan bitch. I mean, that's the point of why she starts cutting herself, is because the fucking bitch, quote unquote friend, acted like she needed to be better than her and pretty much told her to go kill herself in so many words, and that she hated her and she never wanted to speak to her again. And that ended up being the end of the friendship, is because she scored a little bit better than her quote unquote friend. She turns around and she goes home and she's just like, I hate myself because I hurt my friend, even though it was not her fault. I mean, it was a test, but it wasn't her fault. But it made it seem like she was her fault. So much so that she started to cut herself in order to, I guess, punish herself for how she hurt her friend and ended that, friendship or whatever. So like it was just a big downward spiral, kind of. Like anytime she got upset for anyone that blamed her, she would, cut herself. And I mean, it got into depths of like the first time she did it. It was almost like for her, it was a punishment, but seeing the blood like release that anguish that she had. And like at one point she like stabs her hand and she ends up like cutting, I think she starts like cutting like in her thigh or whatever. But like I did stop at that point because I was like, really? The bitch was a bitch. She didn't have to be better than you. She should have celebrated and been happy for you. But no, they had to put that much pressure on her. And then she lost her friend. I mean, that, not even much of a friend. I see, it still makes me mad. I don't even know if I can go back. The art's pretty. I want to know if she gets better in the end. It pisses me off, Kels. It pisses me off.
100% understand that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get through that one either.
Like I said, it's pretty art. Like, I've heard that it's got somewhat of a happy ending, but I'm sorry. Like, I get that she got mad because she's supposed to be, like, the best in her class and she didn't pass the test and didn't get the school she wants. But she shouldn't have latched out like that. And I think it pisses me off even nowadays because it kind of reminds me of an ex-friend in a way. So, like, did not get her way. So, I'm gonna take it out on you because you're right here, even though I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
and the girl don't even have really good self-esteem, so she's like a really big people pleaser. And now that her friend is unhappy, that she has to punish herself because her friend is not happy with her, even though it was never her fault. She didn't do it on purpose to be a conniving moron, conniving mean person.
No, and I mean, I think that it's ridiculous too that it's like, "Oh, you did well," and instead of being happy for your friend, they're like, "Oh, you did this on purpose, and you're such a bad person, and I'm so mad at you," and it's like, "But, like, maybe it's just me," but I'm like, "Why would you not be happy for your friend?" Like, they're clearly not a friend. Makes no
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So I really hope when she went to this new high school and she met up, got a new friend and opened up to her, I really hope she actually helped her. Like I said, I may update y'all in the future going, hey, I actually finally read it, but that's it. Even before we started recording, I went back just to double check because it kept bugging me. I was like, I feel like there was a real reason I stopped, because it couldn't have been just the cutting yourself, because it's
Mhm.
it's one of those things where, like, I'll have a disclaimer in before I'll put a disclaimer somewhere. It's one of those things where it's like I can get past that. Oh, her original quote unquote bestie was a bitch. Okay, now I know why. Now I know why.
Yeah, because that's just ridiculous and unacceptable behavior from anybody, and then, you're getting it from your so-called best friend. Mm-mm.
Yeah, she like throws, she's like, I never want to speak to you again. And like throws the charm that she made her for good luck, like just threw in the ground. Just all those years of friendship just gone because of a test. Because of a test that she, for whatever reason, didn't actually pass. And the whole
Yeah.
time she was like, oh, if you don't pass, don't get into the schools that you want. Because that's how that works, is like you pick certain schools, but you have to make certain scores to get into those certain schools. So you have like, your top score, kind of like Harvard, and then you go down from there. So depending on what you make is what schools you'll be qualified for. So it's one of those things where it's like, your main character here was just like, even if we don't get in the same schools, I still got your back. We'll be best friends for life. Meanwhile, the bitch is like, I didn't get into my number one school that I wanted to because my grades suck, because it's the only test I ever failed. I get it. I'm a people pleaser, and I'm also a perfectionist. Very bad.
Mhm.
Very bad for perfectionist. They kind of go hand in hand. So I get it, but I also don't see the fact that she had to throw the charm, say, I never want to see you again, go kill yourself, I fucking hate you, and then just lets it be that way. To have her friend go home, who's already a people pleaser herself, and sit there and be like, oh, the friend I most care about in the world, only person that I've probably told everything to in my life, hates me. It's my fault that she failed. I must punish myself over and over and over until I make it better by feeling better, because the blood is draining and it's the problems going away instead of
Yeah.
directly dealing.
Yeah.
See, I just get so heated. I get so heated.
Well, and understandably so, because I mean, like, you and I fight about shit, but it's usually snacks.
That is true.
I mean, you have threatened to disown me over chips, but I also know that you would never do that. It's just a threat because I can't share them,
It's an empty threat. I'm like, but it looks so good.
which is where the care packages come from.
Except for your very first care package never came to me, and I was very sad.
No. So mad about that.
Still don't know where it
Like,
is.
what the hell, man?
Still gone in the world. Old now. I'm sad.
There's just like some fucking UPS guy or something that's just like, haha, it's mine now.
Yeah, but there's me being interested in it and I can't try it, so I'm irritated that I can't try it, but I'm not gonna go tell you to go kill yourself.
No.
Again, a lot of this could be my own trauma from like past things, or, being the people pleaser. I took in a lot of that crap. So,
Mm.
I know one day we're gonna get fans, and the fans are gonna be like, don't mess with her, cute. And I'm just gonna be like, y'all, I can still handle myself. I'm not a child. I don't
No.
need
But
protection.
when somebody loves you, they feel defensive.
Yeah, I'm
How
still
many
getting used
times
to
have
that.
I just been like, I'm adding them to my hit list. When I come
I
down there,
know,
they're dead.
I know, I know, I know, I know, I know. But I'm also the person that's like, I've never had someone love me back like this before. So yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I really do, because I can be the same way. Who hurt you? And I'm also a perfectionist. I've always been a secret one. I wasn't like as loud about it as I am now. But, I did. I took a lot of that stuff personally. I did a lot of that self-sabotaging. Oh,
Mhm.
they don't like me, or they'll like me better if I do this for them, or that kind of stuff. So it was kind of always like, really? But I mean, I get it. I get her point of view and why she was so upset, but it just infuriates me that I guess it's almost like reliving the trauma.
Yeah. Some mangas, like, it's great when they do that, and you're just sitting there like, "Okay, yeah, I actually have to, like, face my demons, and maybe this will help me work through it," and then you have other manga where it's like, "You can eat a bag of dicks."
Oh no, because I can when we have our live at the end of the month, I could go out and just tell you 6 million different stories of what happened. And I mean, if
Mhm.
someone asks me, I'm going to tell you flat out. I may change like names and stuff like that, or I just may just revert to them as a person, depending on my mood and how many snacks I had on hand to chew through my problems, because some of it still does trigger me. I work through a lot of it, and I try to, and that was one thing I took out of therapy is because you learned, you survived it and stuff like that. And it makes your brain not as triggered by when stuff happens again.
Mhm.
If I'm making any sense.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like I'm not, but again, that's me.
Well, I mean, it was a really long, long way of, saying, like, behavioral therapy.
Yes, kind of. I don't fucking know what it's called.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't know what it's called. Okay.
I swear to God, I'm just gonna make, like, one of those, pull string, like, "The cow says moo" kids' toys into, like, Kyo's trauma dump
Oh my God.
lottery and just being like, "Oh, you wanna hear the stories? Well, we don't know which story to tell, so these are all the approved ones, let's just spin the wheel."
Right? What story should we talk about this week? Woo! Nah. Nah. It's just, like I said, and a lot of people probably did like this manga, reverting back to it, and a lot of people don't. Like I said, I don't know what the ending is. I have heard that it kind of ends sweetly, and then there's even a second season, so obviously people bought it. I'm just saying for me, it wasn't quite for me, even though I somewhat want to try it again, but probably not yet. I probably need to give over a little bit more of my trauma from before I can actually sit down and read it without getting angry again. So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah, it is. It's quite fair. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, we would love to hear from you guys too. What is a manga that you guys had that you regret buying or you regret reading or you absolutely hate? Because we would love to hear some other ones that are a little bit different or, did you not like something that was mainstream or do you have a completely obscure manga that we've never heard of before? Like, we'd love to
Ooh.
hear your opinions.
Or if you want to dog on us for our opinions. Da-dong!
Yeah, I can take the heat.
I may cry with some snacks, but I got this. Again, it is our opinion. You can love it, and you can hate it, and you can meme it
Mhm.
with Pepe.
El Pepe.
Ah, I'm missing Pepe. I love Pepe and Uncle Dudley. God, this says a lot about myself.
Just casually dipping a toe into the world of Kyo.
Right? I know. And this month's gonna be crazy. If anyone even shows up to the live, I'll be like, wee.
I have a feeling we'll get a couple people.
Probably. We'll see. We'll see.
Mhm. If you made it this far in the episode, we want to say thank you. We couldn't do this without your support. If you'd like to subscribe and become an official Manga Mommies member, the link will be in the show notes. For Manga of the Month, the PDF, copy, or free website will be located below. If you feel up to it, like, subscribe, or share our podcast so we can find more people just like you. We hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time that happens to be, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Stay tuned, and thanks for listening.